I was in my backyard recently with my 3 kids, and I was watering some weeds, and I heard a crunching noise, a very loud crunching noise, and my 1-year-old had found a garden snail and killed it and was eating it and enjoying it. And it made wonderful noises because he was crunching through the shell and then through just the raw, moist escargot sushi. And so it's quite a symphony of noises. And but I don't know if you're supposed to do that. It might be dangerous. So I went to take it out of his mouth. And at that moment, my 8-year-old punched my 6-year-old in the face. And I had a hose. So I hosed the 8-year-old aggressively. I blasted him against the wall and held him there for a second. And he was very upset, understandably. I shouldn't have hosed him. But if you punch my beautiful 6-year-old in the face, I'm gonna fucking hose you, even if you're also my son. And so I held him against the wall for a little bit, and then I let go, took my thumb off, and he slid down the wall. And he was livid. And he marched over to me and the baby, and he points at the baby and looks in my eyes and goes, "I'm gonna teach him to hate you." So now I have like a comic book Nemesis living in my house with me. I'm scared. I didn't realize it at the time, but I'd made a terrible error a few weeks before that. We had gone to some cider festival in a forest, and one of the activities that they had was you could give a guy 3 pounds, and then he'd give you some axes that you could throw at a target. And so I did it, and I threw the axes, and I hit the target every time. The blade never sank into the wood, but it would hit it like sideways and clang to the ground. Like if I threw an axe like that at you, the way I throw them, you wouldn't be hurt. You'd just be like, "Hey, hey, hey, that's a nuisance." And so I didn't do a good job. But then my son, my 8-year-old, was like, "Hey, Daddy, can I do it?" And I was like, "I can't imagine he's gonna let an 8-year-old do it. I'm gonna try." So I said to the guy, like, "He can't do it, can he?" He's like, "If he's got 3 pounds, I don't give a shit who does it." And so I gave the guy 3 pounds, and then my son took the axes and just fucking thunk, 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 and then sunk them all. And so now that we're Nemesis, I know that one day, like when I die, you don't have to read the obituary. It's just gonna be fucking 3 axes to the forehead, 1 to the heart, 1 to each testicle, and that's it. That's how it's gonna be. I was walking around with all 3 of them a few weeks ago, and we're walking down the sidewalk at dusk, the most dangerous time, and a guy approaches us, and he's kind of shuffling along, looks like he's in trouble, and I noticed that he's bleeding from his temple. So I'm a nice person, so I said, "Sir, can we help you?" And he goes, "If I could just get 5 pounds on my Oyster card, then I'm sure I could." And I'm like, "You fucking scammer." And so I gave him the money. I didn't want to deal with it. I had all the kids. And my boys are upset. They're like, "He's really in trouble, Daddy." And I'm like, "No, he's not. He's not going to use that money to ride the train. He's not even hurt. He's going to use the money to buy cocaine powder for him and his friends. We've been scammed, boys." And they were like, "Huh?" Like, they're young and they're good people. So they were like, no, really, we have to help him harder and more. We've got to chase him down. And I'm like, "No." And so you can see inside their picture of me is just crumbling because they think I don't want to help the guy. And I'm like, And so anyway, we're all having crises as I'm like, I think the guy was scamming us, but I'm not 100% certain. So I'm all fucked up. And so then we go around the corner. And a little while later, I see the guy again. So I grab the boys and we all hide behind a bench. And I go, "You just watch him." And so this time, the guy's walking down the street and he's like, "Zippity-doo-dah." And then he identifies a mark. So he like enfeebles himself and then walks up and is like, and I'm like, "See, what did I tell you?" And the boys are like, now they think we're like MI6. And they're like, "Oh my God." We went home and they're like, "Daddy, teach us more scams." So I'm running a scam college out of the basement.